Showed us last night that all things are possible in basketball. So, in reality, there is still one quarter-final spot up for grabs. But only if Italy loses to Sweden and Israel beat Lithuania later on tonight. So, Italy can't afford to slip up against Sweden. They don't want to sweat it out for the rest of the day. The Swedes can't be taken for granted, as the Russians discovered back in 1993, and one of the shocks of the last Europeans was Sweden's overtime win in their very first game against Russia.
So Coach Ettore Messina for Italy, who knows that if his team wins this morning, they can sew up the final open quarterfinal berth. There's the lineup for the Italians. A veteran team for the most part, as Coach Messina tries to come up with a good mix. The center Rusconi, who's going over to Phoenix Suns for the start of the next NBA season. The veteran and very versatile Riccardo Patisse, who's had a pretty good tournament, and the real veteran, 34-year-old Walter Magnifico, who's come up big in a couple of games for Italy. See the starting lineup for Sweden, their big gun, Matthias Sahlström, the forward who plays for Karcher, who's had a very good tournament as well.
Yeah, had a great game against Germany and really gave Coach Lukic of Germany some problems. Remember, he had to bring big Christian Belt back in when it got very, very tight in the second half. The Swedes were trailing by about 12 or 14 at one stage, and then fought their way right back to within 4 of Germany. And we almost had a shock on our hands. So the Swedes, by no means out of contention in this game, and Italy cannot afford to have a few lapses in concentration, because the Swedes got nothing to lose and can be guaranteed to give 100%.
So to recap, over in Group B, Croatia, who are 5-0, are going to become the champions of that group unless they lose to France tonight in the final game in Group B. France are currently 4-1. If they lose to Croatia, they go to 4-2. Spain would take over second. Russia, who play Turkey today, could finish 4-2 as well and would then be in third. France would be in fourth. Turkey, Slovenia, and Finland eliminated in Group B. Over here in Group A, the way it stands right now, Yugoslavia 5-0. Lithuania is 4-1. Greece has finished their program, and we won't tell you their record because we'll be bringing you some highlights of their match from yesterday against Germany later on today. Italy is 2-3. Israel's 2-3. Germany played Greece last night. We'll show you those highlights. And as we said, Sweden, not a win yet. They're 0-5. But they've played a couple of games very close and could pose problems for the Italians today. Italy will be wearing white in this game, and Sweden will be in the dark blue. We're just about ready for the opening tap. Italy against Sweden here on Eurosport. So Rusconi will take the jump for Italy against Vincent Lundahl, 6'10" center, and Rusconi controls it straight out of bounds. And the ball goes over to Sweden to start the match.
Remember, the last thing Italy want to do is lose here and then have to sweat it out. Even though Israel not playing very well, there is always a possibility of Israel beating Lithuania. So Israel still with a possible chance of qualifying for the quarterfinals, but only if Italy lose here. And
so Heinrich Gadefors picks up the game's first foul. Rusconi on the turnaround, and Lundahl draws the offensive foul on Rusconi.
Good help defense there. Here comes the man across, and Rusconi nowhere to go. An offensive foul.
Absolutely perfect by Lundahl. Set, both feet, went backwards to protect himself. So no score in the early going here. First half, Italy against Sweden. And Sweden, you can hear the cheerleaders in the background, the only team to come to the European Championships and bring cheerleaders with them. And in Sweden against Greece, the cheerleaders had a very, very tough time as the crowd greeted them with a rain of drachmas, which weren't intended. Only the coins, no bills. And the cheerleaders had to eventually take cover on the Swedish bench. Lundahl, the big man, trying the three-pointer. Magnifico clears the boards for Italy. And Pettis holds the ball for the veteran Claudio Coldabella.
Swedes have made bad starts in all their games so far, and so far this no exception. And there they are, first score of the game. Sweden are 2-0 down.
Enzo Esposito, who's been the high scorer for Italy in the tournament, and whose name has been linked with the expansion Toronto Raptors in the NBA. Two minutes gone in the game. Gaddafour is with the ball. They go inside. Sahlström, nice moves off the front of the rim, chases his own rebound and gets it. And Sweden will restart. They tend to play very, very deliberately, the Swedes. Old-fashioned half-court offense. And Christian Larsson, who was their high scorer yesterday, cans the three, and Sweden leads 3-2. Sorry, that was Gaddafour.
And Esposito took a real battering there. He ran into Sahlström's pick, and does he know he ran into a pick or what? He was really shaken. Every bone in his body was hurt then.
And Sahlström was 6'9½", goes about 250 pounds. And he hits you, you know you've been hit. Good hustle by Magnifico, and he's fouled as he goes for the loose ball. Walter Magnifico, brought back into the Italian team, has had a very, very good tournament. Originally, we thought he was going to come off the bench, give Rosconi a break, but they've played both of them in a number of games. Magnifico has come up big with points and defensive play. He's off on that shot, and here comes Sweden. Sahlström bringing the ball down. Gets as far as he can go and passes it off. Gaddafour is now outside. Lundahl, the big man. He's got a mismatch as Pettis is on Sahlström, and Pettis hanging on for dear life. But we get a foul underneath.
I think it's against Pettis for holding. Slight mismatch there. Pettis a lot lighter than Sahlström, and he's got his hands full in that low post.
And here comes Pettis now. He beats Sahlström down court and lays it in easily, so it's 4-3 Italy. Good transition from Riccardo Pettis.
Italy putting a lot of pressure on an out-of-bounds pass from the Swedes, and the Swedes having a lot of trouble getting the ball into play.
Olli Håkansson on the outside. The pass, Pettis with another steal. Handles the ball very well for a big man into Magnifico, and he's fouled, and the foul will be on Lundahl.
So another poor start for Sweden, and Magnifico, here he is on the turnaround. One of many in a long line of very, very good Italian centers. And I go back to the days of Dino Meneghin, whose son, of course, is now playing in the Italian league. Magnifico, Meneghin, great Italian centers of the past and the present, of course.
Magnifico makes the first. The 34-year-old plays at Pesaro, misses the second. 5-3 Italy. Håkansson. Magnifico knocks that out of bounds. Possession will stay with Sweden.
This is good defense from the Italians. They are denying the first pass from the Swedes, and Swedes struggling to get into their offense.
So Gaddafour's three-point basket, the only offense for Sweden so far in this game. And he's going to put up another one. It's going to be short. Magnifico with the rebound. 3-on-2 for Italy. Esposito to Pettis. Italy slow it up and reset the offense. Coldabella up top. Pettis and Esposito on the wings. Rosconi and Magnifico in the middle, setting a double pick at the foul line. Here comes Pettis. Looks for the dish, but he's fouled before he passes it off to Magnifico.
Very good offense here from the Italians. The break wasn't on, even though it was very well organized, and they knew that they had to reset and knew exactly where they were going to go to inside the Pettis for the foul.
Foul on Joachim Blum, the youngster from Sud Italia, only 19, 6'10". Sahlström clears the boards for Sweden. 5-3, they're down. And Godefroy is on the break. Nice pass. It's 5-5, and we're tied.
And Rusconi was completely lost then on the defense. Didn't even know there was a man cutting back door. And the first he knew about it was when he picked the ball out of the hoop.
And Italy so smart. Godefroy just ran the length of the court for the basket. Ball goes right to Esposito. He moves on Godefroy, as you saw the foul. Hand on the shoulder and body to body. So 5-5. Sweden already with 5 fouls. Esposito on the drive. Nice pass. Rusconi on the dunk. 7-5. Italy lead. Good teamwork. Nice vision by Esposito.
Well, the crowd weren't particularly impressed with that. Nice dunk from Rusconi, and was greeted with a few whistles and boos.
Godefroy, who has all 5 points for Sweden. We're about a quarter of the way through the first half. That's Blom. Taking Rusconi one-on-one, doesn't get anywhere, but the ball falls to Sahlström, and he ties us up at 7. So a break for Sweden, and Sahlström takes advantage of it.
And Sahlström on the boards. Really, he should have got the pass in the first place anyway, because he was wide open underneath, and the man that shot didn't see him.
Batiste now on the outside, down to Rusconi. He moves, he's stripped to the ball as he goes up. Sahlström took it away from him. Rusconi looks to the referee in disbelief, but Sahlström's all the way down court. Sweden reset. Batiste, you see, picking up Sahlström. They want his quickness. They want to try just simply to deny him the ball. And Sweden, nice cutting through. Sahlström's on the outside and hits the 2. It's 9-7.
Sahlström there just showing the range of his skills. Superb inside player, and very good eye from the outside as well. And good passing there from the Swedes. Correction,
10-7. Sahlström was over the three-point line on the shot. Esposito was on that one, but it doesn't fall. Blom gets the rebound. Lundahl gets the rebound. Here comes Godefroy's good lead pass to Blom, and he's called for the travel, trying to collect that pass. And there, the precision machine of the Swedish cheerleaders. The big yellow machine.
And no crash helmets on to avoid the, the coins from the Greek fans.
Magnifico now. Moving, and a nice hook shot over Sahlström. So it's 10-9.
Great footwork here from Magnifico. Kept his pivot foot down, and a lovely soft touch. And good hook shot there from Walter Magnifico. Offensive foul against the Swedes.
For blocking, that's the 6th team foul against Sweden. And Jonas Larsson, who was their leading scorer yesterday as they lost to Lithuania. Larsson had 21 points, checks in the game. And I was right the first time. Director's driving me crazy here, but that basket by Sahlström was a 2-pointer after all. It's 9-9, and that looked like a pretty good block to me, but Lundahl's going to be called for goaltending, and it's 11-9. Let's take another look and see.
Probably the top of its flight.
Yep. Good timing by Lundahl, but the referees don't see it that way. So Italy lead 11-9.
And that's a 3 from the corner. So the Swedes have made a good recovery, and they'll lead by 1.
And Lundahl gets his revenge in the best possible way. Lundahl clearing the boards as Rusconi misses, and Sweden come down. If they can stay in this half-court game with the Italians, the Swedes can be dangerous. Italy needs to be scoring points in transition.
It's a good contest between Lundahl and Sahlström, and Magnifico and Rusconi, and another 2 there.
Sahlström with another long 2. He's got 6. Sweden's got 14. They lead by 3.
But of course, Italy have Gregoire Foucault to come off the bench.
Magnifico backing in, and then on the turnaround, and foul just after the shot by Blom. He didn't really seem to make contact with him there. But Magnifico will go to the line. That's the 7th team foul on the Swedes. And the man checking in the lineup is Anders Marcus, 6'8.5" and 265 pounds. Magnifico now at the line and makes the first.
And that man, Gregoire Fuca, has checked in for Italy as well. So 3 inside players there now for Italy. And of course, Fuca can shoot from the outside.
14-13, Italy trail by 1. And Sweden giving away a few inches in height, but nothing in beef up front. As you see Marcus laying the beef on the Italians right away, setting the big screen. Torbjörn Gerke also in the game now for Sweden.
And a lazy foul here for Fuca, just not moving his feet and reaching in and grabbing the guy's arm. And that's a 2-shot foul.
So Ole Håkansson goes out of the lineup and Orion Anderson takes his place at the point.
They've given possession end line. If that wasn't a 2 count, and Sweden get the ball end line.
Tipped away and saved by Koldebella. Taken back by Gerke, and Sahlström comes in, and Sahlström puts it through. 16-13 Sweden. And make up for those missed foul shots. One thing, when you're a lightly regarded team, you don't tend to get many breaks from the referees in this tournament.
No, tell Germany all about that.
And the Germans weren't lightly regarded coming in. It took them a few games to earn that. And a long 3-pointer from Esposito, who can hit from out there. Got unlimited range. He ties the game at 16.
Sahlström screaming for the ball. He was wide open on the wing then. And Magnifico very slow to get out to him, but the 3 comes from the point guard.
Jonas Larsson, you could see he was looking for the 3 the whole way. Fuca, who can handle very well. Nice little pass inside, and a sweet turnaround by Magnifico. Walter Magnifico is playing much younger than 34.
He belies his years at the moment, playing like a sprightly teenager.
We're halfway through the first half. Sweden lead by 1. And Fuca leads the break. Esposito finishes. Sahlström commits the foul. Italy go up by 1, and Esposito will have a chance to make it 2. I'll say it, you know what I'm going to say. Because every time in this tournament, someone goes up and uses their offhand to fend off the player coming over. The player coming over gets the foul.
That was a very well organized fast break there from Italy. Very controlled, a lot of poise in the front court. And Gregoire Fuca just chased the ball just in case there was a rebound, but no need, as Esposito completes the 3-point play.
Italy up by 2, and Fuca, born in what was Yugoslavia, now becoming a naturalized, or is a naturalized Italian, and having been given the name Gregoire. By the way, Birch is now French as well. And he commits the foul, the foul underneath on Flavio Carrera, the veteran center from Buckler Bologna, as he ties up Bloom underneath. Paolo Conti comes in the game for Italy. And again, Italy denies Sweden the inbounds pass. Esposito steps on the end line trying to save that long pass. And Italy throw away a good chance to extend their lead. And there you see Esposito's foot firmly on the white line.
He avoided stepping out on the first step, but just couldn't stop himself overbalancing there.
So Gerke now looking for the turnaround, but he has to force it. Good defense by Carrera. Good lead pass. Esposito finishes it off neatly, and the Swedes are not getting back quickly.
They're getting murdered on transition at the moment. And good reactions from the Italians. And suddenly Sweden find themselves 4 down after leading by 3.
Larsson now kicks it back out. Nice play, but Marcus can't hit the shot, and we've got the foul underneath.
Gregov Fulka there. Boxing out, but boxing out with his arms. So Fulka's second foul.
Fulka's called for the off-the-ball foul. Sweden won a timeout. Coach Rolf Nilsson coming up with a plan. And eventually we'll share it with the players. And with the timeout on the court, the score stands Italy 23, Sweden 19. The Coach Nilsson, the game going pretty much according to plan, except that they're giving up the cheap baskets in transition, and they're having a lot of trouble inbounding the ball. And what he's looking for, it looks like, is on the inbounds play to set something up at the foul line to get an outside shot off that.
That's right. Typical of Italian defense, denying the pass in, and that's where they're getting a lot of their fast breaks from as well. A lot of little deflections, and as soon as the Italian hand is on the ball, they're often running, and the Swedes backpedaling.
So Italy come back on the court, leading 23-19. And they've, as you saw on the graphic, they've had a 7-zip run over the Swedes, and Sweden led at 19-16. But Sweden has the ball. Let's see if they can execute that inbounds play. And no, they can't. Esposito takes the inbounds pass. The Swedes basically standing around and watching, and Esposito dribbled the ball twice. And Sweden will get another chance.
Well, that must have happened a good half dozen times now. Sweden trying to get the ball in from the end line, and Italy denying the pass, and off they go on a fast break.
I think the Swedes simply have to take it simple. And two men, one has to set a pick, the other has to come off it and get a quick inbounds pass.
It's this long pass that the Italians are looking for, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. So Sweden still trailing by 4. 7 unanswered points for Italy. Sweden very deliberate on the offense. Sahlstrom has been in the whole game. Lundahl nearly loses it, and then this time nearly loses it again. Lundahl now drives, he sets and hits, and is fouled. So good play by Lundahl. And Sweden stopped that run.
Well, it's a rare error for Italy. There was the forced shot because the shot clock was on 2, and Italy just fouled just at the wrong moment. So Sweden here with an opportunity for a 3-point play.
And Italy nearly forced 2 turnovers on that possession. Lundahl completes a 3-point play, and Sweden now trail by 1. Fernando Gentile in to play the point for Italy. Esposito. And Esposito will not count. And Sweden are now over the limit in fouls.
And Coach Ettore Messina, as we've seen him do a few times in this tournament, has gone already to his bench. He's got big Flavio Carrera out there, and Rusconi's taken a break.
Jonas Larsson comes out, and Gatafors comes in for Sweden. Gatafors, who started the game. We haven't seen Heinrich Evers yet. And Esposito makes the first. As we said, Sweden's in the penalty, so Esposito will shoot 2. And makes them both. Italy by 3, 25-22. Hawkinson back in the game at the point. That's Blum. Lundahl, and Lundahl on the turn. Nice move off the glass, and Lundahl showing a lot of offense here in the first half.
That was lovely footwork, and the Italian defense left completely flat-footed.
Gentile to Pettis. And Esposito sweet from the outside, 28-24.
Remember this, the game that Italy need to win to make sure they go into the quarterfinals. And one of the most difficult tasks of the tournament is to pick an all-star 5. Because I tell you what, young Esposito out there has played very, very well throughout this tournament.
Sahlstrom short on the shot, but Lundahl picks up the rebound, a long rebound, and Sweden will restart. Got a lot of bumping going on, and the referee sent a warning when he should have been blowing a foul. And Esposito, beautiful move.
Beautiful.
Shake and bake underneath, but I hate seeing that when the highly regarded team fouls, the referee's warning the player not to bump.
Yeah,
at the other end, he'd blow the whistle.
Sahlstrom was being held as he was trying to cut through the key there, and at the same time, Italy stole the ball, and a lovely move at the other end from Esposito.
So it's 30-24. Sweden need a good possession this time. Sahlstrom goes into the hoop hard. Finger roll in and out of the basket. Italy come down again in transition. Patisse speeds things up. Esposito's alone on the outside, but doesn't hit the three, but the rebound falls for Conti. And Italy get to restart, leading by 6. And the foul will be on Lundahl on the outside, and Patisse will go to the line. And you see Patisse actually sending himself forward. I think he went over Lundahl's foot. He actually tripped over Lundahl's foot on that one.
Yeah, Patisse was really going nowhere then, into 3 players, and Lundahl reached in and gave Patisse what he wanted.
Makes the first in Italy, starting to pull away from Sweden. This will be their second 7-0 run of the first half. So they lead 32-24 now by 8.
Sweden have to be careful in this last 5.5 minutes or so. Game just beginning to slip away from them, and they have to batten down the hatches now. But Italy come up with another steal, and Sweden get it back again.
They'll have to hustle now. The 30-second clock beats them at the other end, so Italy get the ball back anyway.
You can see the Swedes there asking for the shot clock to have been reset, but no possession was gained by Italy. So that's good officiating from the table. And this is what the discussion about. Why was the shot clock not reset?
And I think that's absolutely right. The Italians never did have possession. They simply knocked the ball loose.
I just get the impression there is an element of doubt in the referee's mind, though. He's not completely convinced. And Ettore Messina has asked for a timeout.
So Italy take a timeout, and they lead Sweden. The score 32-24, and the Italians are on a 7-0 run with 5:30 left in the first half. And Coach Rolf Nilsson of Sweden, he doesn't want his team to fall behind too badly here, because for Sweden, playing that deliberate offense, getting back into the game, trying to catch up is very, very difficult.
That's right. If they can eliminate their turnovers and sort out this denial defense from the Italians, then they can go into the halftime break reasonably satisfied. But at the moment, they're giving far too many easy opportunities for a fast break to Italy.
And there's not much of a crowd here early morning in Athens, but what crowd there is clustered around the Swedish cheerleaders, especially the young boys. Look at the cheers. So big cheers for the Swedish cheerleaders, and Italy come back on the court.
So top scorer in the game so far, Esposito, and he's really hurting Sweden. He's got 17 points to his name already. And a reach-in foul there. Puts Italy back on the line for 2. And Ricardo Pittis, he's been here a few times.
Pittis makes the first. 33-24. Lundahl waiting to come back in for Sweden. And Pettis misses the second, but the rebound by Carrera. Italy keep possession. And nothing going Sweden's way at the moment.
Gentili described in the press release as Italy's crazy shooter. Well, he's not shot yet, so we have no idea what they mean by that.
35-24, Magnifico, and it's a 10-point run for Italy. Sweden now down by 9. And that's one of the things Coach Messina has done, is kept Gentili in check, basically, because they've got better shooters. And Gentili, much more valuable playing defense and getting them the ball. And look at the defense by Italy. There's a little bit of holding on by Magnifico there, but they're denying the pass to Sweden, really upsetting the deliberate play. And Sweden having to go one-on-one, and again, can't beat the 30-second clock.
Well, that's the second offense in quick succession that the Italians have denied Sweden a shot within 30 seconds. That is super team defense.
There you see confirmation of the 10-0 run. And Magnifico, Carrera, just slides through the Swedish defense. A 12-0 run for Italy. And they lead by 13, breaking this game wide open.
Italian teams have always been well-versed in the art of defense, and this is a prime example of that for any young coaches. Just watch how the Italians are working off the ball. There was a double team there, but someone just reached in and fouled. But the Italians are communicating with each other. They're moving their feet. Their hands are everywhere and making it very, very difficult for the Swedes to string two passes together.
They want to deny the ball to Sahlström. You saw the way they collapsed on him, and the foul unfortunate because the defense was good.
Now let's see what the Italians do on defense here. Another end-line ball for Sweden, and another Italian hand there. But the Swedes fortunate to get the ball.
They got it into Sahlström, but they start the offense. And the foul.
We have
called on Sahlström. He says,
wow.
With incredulity, Carrera will go to the line at the other end.
Well, we have a very, very hungry Italian team here, but how Sahlström came up with that foul.
So Carrera started behind him, literally clawed his way in front of him to get the ball. Sahlström still standing there, and Carrera will go to the line. And this isn't because my name is Carlson that I'm querying the referees, but I really believe Sweden is not getting much of a break from them. So 1 of 2 for Carrera, 13 unanswered points for Italy, and they lead by 14, 38-24.
But the saying is that in basketball, as in life, you make your own luck, and the Italians are working very, very hard here, making life very tough for the Swedes to get a pass together.
Sahlström gets it underneath, shakes off Magnifico. Lundahl misses from the outside. The rebound to Pieri. And the ball out of bounds, and Sweden will take possession.
Now, Sweden hustled back there. That was because that was what made the pass so difficult, and the pass went behind the running Italian. So Sweden, a little bit of good defense from them as well.
And they'll need to play good defense to get back into this game. It was 25-24. It's now 38-24. Sweden have gone 5 minutes without scoring, and Sahlström can't end that drought as he's hammered underneath. Puts the ball hard off the glass. Nice fast break pass from Pettis, and the foul will be on Lundahl.
And that's Lundahl's third. And nothing going Sweden's way at the moment. Sahlström was clobbered at one end, and then we have an Italian fast break. Lovely lead pass there from Ricardo Pettis. And Coach Nilsson, philosophical, can't understand what's going on out there.
So Pieri, who is averaging half a rebound a game, but in fairness to Federico, has not played very much in the tournament. Makes the second foul shot. 39-24, 14 unanswered points for Italy.
And even the cheerleaders have gone very, very quiet, and as I speak, up they start again.
And finally, Sweden score as Anders Marcus drives to the hoop, 39-26, ending a 14-0 run for the Italians. With 2 minutes to play in the first half, Sweden trailed by 13. The steal by Ole Håkansson. And it's going to be Patisse reaching in from the back, getting the foul for Italy. So 3 fouls on Patisse. And Italy finally in the penalty. Håkansson will go to the line.
Rare example there of a casual pass from Gentili, and that led to an even rarer Swedish fast break.
So Håkansson makes the first, it's 39-27, and Håkansson makes the second, it's 39-28. So we're at the 2-minute point of the first half. Sweden cutting the lead to 11. Carrera and Magnifico on the shot, but they're going to call off the shot.
Illegal pick.
And the foul on Carrera.
But Italy were in possession, so that is only sideline to Sweden. No score. The shot from Magnifico has been cancelled, and Sweden on a mini run of their own. They've scored the last 4 points.
So the shooter Larsson comes in for Sweden. Gregor Fuka comes in for Italy, and there you see the foul. And a good call as Carrera just steps right in front of the on-charging Matthias Sahlström.
Sahlström's having a tough half, isn't he? He's getting battered at one end and fighting through illegal picks, but he's tough.
He's got the ball now. Håkansson. Larsson, who's an outside shooter. In the battle for position, it's going to be Conti called for the foul on Sahlström, as they still want to deny him the ball.
I think it might just be possible that Coach Messina has had a little word with his team about stopping Sahlström getting the ball.
And at that point, you saw the referee, at that point he still has not blown the foul. He's seen him with the arm around Sahlström's back, he's seen him grab Sahlström's shorts, and he's clapping to tell the player to stop doing it instead of blowing the whistle. And Sahlström doesn't do his cause any good by missing both foul shots. But that to me is not good refereeing. This isn't a football match here where you want to keep play moving. You have to call those fouls when they happen.
The referee is probably right to actually warn them at the in the very first stage of the game, but now we're late on in the half. It's happened 4 or 5 times, and the referee is still telling him to stop holding him.
In the crazy shooting, Fernando Gentile had to get one in, and it's a 3. So Italy are back to 14 in the lead, and we're at the 1-minute mark of the first half. And that's Marcus cutting through, but he jams the shot on the front of the rim. Italy now again on the break, and finished neatly by Paolo Conti. Italy have broken this game open, beating Sweden in transition, lead by 16.
And if there were any Israeli scouts in the crowd, there are glum expressions on their faces, because Israel needed Italy to lose this game, and at the moment Italy well and truly in control.
Håkansson missing the 3, and everything going Italy's way as that ball blocked by the Swedes, but falls for Magnifico right in stride, and he just puts it through the hoop. A good first half for the veteran Magnifico.
Well, just to repeat myself, you make your own luck in this game. Italy ran a good fast break there, and they got the rub of the green.
And they save. They may get one last shot. The whistle blew with 1 second to go, and I think it was a traveling violation. So let's see if Sweden can work an inbounds play to get a 3-point shot off within 1 second. Nope. Shot was there, but after the buzzer, so we'll go in at halftime with Italy in a commanding position and leading Sweden by 18 points, by 46-28. And you see the difference in rebounds and shooting for Italy. So 46-28 at the half. Italy over Sweden. And we'll be bringing you the coverage of yesterday's match between Italy and Yugoslavia at halftime, then coming back live with the rest of Italy against Sweden. And don't go away, because we'll follow that with live Yugoslavia against Germany and the highlights of last night's match between Greece and Germany, which was a crucial match in Group A. So that's the story now at day 7 of the European Basketball Championships. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with those scenes from yesterday's game, and you're watching European basketball on Eurosport.
Eurosport.
Eurosport Live.
And not much to cheer about for the Swedish cheerleaders as their team trails Italy 28-46 at halftime here. It's live European Championship basketball on Eurosport. Mike Carlson and Roy Birch. The Olympic Arena in Athens, Greece, and the Swedish cheerleaders are performing better than the Swedish basketball team at the moment, Roy.
These cheerleaders will have seen a great exhibition of Italian defense. It was 25-24 to Italy, and then Italy put the clamps on Sweden, and Sweden only scored 4 points in the last 6 minutes of that half. And basically that is good denial defense. Every pass was contested by the Italians, and if the Italians got a deflection, then they were off on the fast break.
And it was transition ball that killed Sweden. And you see late in the half, Paolo Conti converting a pass from Fernando Gentile for Italy, and Gentile hitting the three, but the Swedes not getting many breaks from the referees, but not taking advantage of what play they had. Italy doing a great job of denying the ball in inbounds plays, beating them on transition. Enzo Esposito hitting from the outside and the inside, and the old man, the veteran Walter Magnifico, doing a very, very good job on the boards for Italy. You see Esposito leading the fast break and converting it, and Sweden doing a good job of trying to run their disciplined offense, but only for about the first half of the first half. And the Italians all over this man, Matthias Salstrom. This is a two-pointer that he hit, but every time he went underneath, he had an Italian holding him, pushing him, shoving him, getting in his way, knocking him off balance, and unfortunately getting away with it.
Sweden came back from a long way down against Germany and got back to within 4 in the second half, but the effort really did wear them out, and Germany went on to win by 10. I wonder if the Swedes can raise their game here against Italy. They are a long, long way down, and they've simply got to get to grips with this Italian defense.
So, can anyone tell us what the possession stat means? .43 to Italy, 38 to Sweden. It actually has a little bit of relevance to the score, but that's one of the first times we've seen that happen in this game. Italy in white, Sweden in the dark blue. And Alessandro Frosini starts the second half at center for Italy, and Italy control the tap. Coldebella is up top. Magnifico is still in. That's Enzo Esposito. And Riccardo Pettis makes up the 5th member of the starting 5 here in the second half for Italy. And that's Frosini. 3 fakes underneath, doesn't get the roll. The rebound by Salstrom for Sweden.
And Coach Messina has the luxury of being able to give people like Rusconi quite an extended rest here. In preparation, he no doubt thinks, for greater things ahead.
Salstrom got his own rebound, but Coldebella handcuffed him. And the first basket to Walter Magnifico, and he's fouled. It's 48-28. Italy by 20, and Magnifico will go to the line.
Again, the Italians get the ball down the floor so quickly, and the Swedish defense hadn't got time to regroup. And Magnifico with a 3-point play. So the Italians ended the first half with 7 unanswered points, and they've added 3 more in the second half. Well, Sweden had a slow start to the first half. They had 1 field goal in the first 5 minutes. And they've not scored as yet in this second half.
Magnifico knocking the ball away from Sahlstrom.
Now let's look at this Italian defense again, denying that pass in.
They had to go long, but this time it got through. Gadefors, Christian Larsson, underneath, the shot blocked.
And the outlet pass from Magnifico. Italy off on the break again.
Esposito alone on the outside, drills the three. 52-28. A 13-0 run by Italy, counting the end of the first half. And Sweden in all kinds of trouble here at the European Basketball Championships. Håkansson on the drive. Gadefors is missing the three. Magnifico with good position underneath gets the rebound.
Caldebella, teammate at club level, of course, of Predrag Danilovic at the moment anyway. Danilovic plays for Yugoslavia, and that could be a matchup in the quarterfinals.
And yet again, the Swedes victimized at the end. And there's the makeup call. Because if you're standing still and you go out of bounds without moving, somebody had to move you. It's QED. He didn't go out of bounds under his own power. Håkansson on the drive and swatted away by Frosini. Frosini's second block of the half. And Petit sticks his hand out, denies the pass. Sweden very predictable, Italy very tough defensively. 8 unanswered points at the start of the half, and Sweden throw the ball away. And it's time for another timeout from coach Rolf Nilsson. 54-28. Italy leads Sweden.
Look at that fast break statistic. 10 successes from 12 attempts by the Italians, and that comes from good defense. They're boxing out, they're talking, and they're making every pass very difficult for the Swedes. And when Italy get the ball, they're off to the races. 10 fast breaks out of 12 attempts.
54-28. Italy have blown the game open against Sweden, and they bring the ball down with another chance to score. The Italians completely shutting Sweden off defensively. Esposito, he's taking practice now. That was an NBA 3 plus about 2 feet. 57-28. Italy 11 unanswered points at the start of the second half.
And a holding foul at last called against Italy.
And Coach Messina can be pleased with this performance. The Italians hustling and playing good defense. They'll tie up that 4th qualifying place, which will probably get them a game against Croatia. And if they can defend like this against Croatia, they'll cause trouble. As Gadefors hits the 3 for Sweden, but of course Croatia a much more difficult proposition than the Swedes.
And the first score of the half for Sweden. And it's pretty apparent that Spain and Italy are improving as they go through the tournament. And contrast that to the last effort that Italy put into a European tournament. They had a dreadful time in 1993, regrouped, got rid of some of the older players, and here they are with a very young side, a hungry side, desperate for the ball, and they want to play fast break as well. They are improving with every game.
And the foul outside on Håkansson as Coldebella starts his drive. Paolo Conti checks back in for Italy. There's Håkansson committing the foul. 59-31. Italy lead by 28. Vincent Lundahl, who played pretty well in the first half, comes back in the game for Sweden. But the Italians have blown this game wide open.
Oh,
Esposito is on fire, sending a message. Enzo Esposito.
And the message he's sending is to some of the top-ranked teams, Croatia, Yugoslavia, Lithuania of this tournament. And, well, they were the favourites to win it, along with Russia. But I tell you, Spain and Italy are making people have a rethink.
And Roy Birch nearly got his first alley-oop of the tournament. And I think Conti may be called for using his defender to get himself higher in the air on the alley-oop. Let's take a look. Pettis now with the pass. It was well judged. And there's Conti with his left hand, using his left hand to get himself higher in the air, but not quite high enough to complete the alley-oop anyway. So Italy have doubled Sweden's score at 62-31. And we've got another foul underneath.
And that's an offensive foul.
And there's, yes, Conti well picked.
Forearms into the throat.
A double axe handle from Mr. Marcus. And Fuka on the bench getting ready to come in for Italy. Pettis in the air, nice pass to Frosini. He misses, but the rebound comes to Conti. And Italy restart again. Coldebella drives the lane. His shot deflected by Lundahl. And possession will stay with Italy.
Very difficult job for Rolf Nilsson, the Swedish coach. What does he do in a situation like this when he's getting absolutely nothing going his way?
The Italians are coming up with every loose ball. Paolo Conti knocked that one out. Coldebella's got it now. Fuka's in the game for Italy.
Well, when you're 30 points down, one thing you can do is give the game to your bench, give it to your younger players, and try and develop something for the future. But what Sweden's future is at the moment, no one...
You see there, Lundahl, he blocked the pass coming through, but it fell right into the hands of Conti. Conti got the shot, and Lundahl fouled him. Conti gets the chance for the three-point play. Anders Marcus checks back in. It's an 18-3 run here at the start of the second half for the Italians. 25-3. Make it 26-3 going back to the first half. 19-3 from the start of the second half. Sweden only one three-point basket. That's their offense so far.
And that an exact replica of the first half. They scored 3 points in the first 5 minutes of the first half. And an even worse start really in the second half. And it's very disappointed faces.
And I think we've got another illegal pick call, this time on Lundahl. 14. The ball again goes over to Italy, and we see for the first time Oscar Lefworth from Solwa.
And it's pretty token defense at the moment from Sweden. No attempt to deny the pass in.
Esposito, good pass underneath. 67-31, 21-3 so far in the second half to Italy. This is probably the most domination we've seen of a game since Russia-Finland.
And remember, the lowest score by any team so far in this tournament is 49 by Israel in their game against Greece.
And the ball won't go for Gadafor's on the drive. Jonas Larsson, sorry. So Jonas Larsson makes the first. Sweden with their 4th point of the half. And Larsson will take his 2nd foul shot. Larsson makes the 2nd, 67-33. But Esposito misses, finally. Enzo Esposito, been shooting from the outside, now takes it to the hoop. Leftworth kicks it back out.
And this Italian defense is unrelenting, and Caldabella there, just getting a little bit too enthusiastic, reaches in, and the glum expression on the face of Rolf Nilsson, the Swedish coach, sums up Sweden's woes at the moment.
Caldabella just playing there with Larsson, and I think he thought he was going to get away with it.
And he probably had every right to think that, the way things are going for Sweden.
Marcus finds Håkansson, and Håkansson hits the 3. So Sweden generating a little bit of offense finally in the 2nd half, 67-36. Nice pass underneath to Fuka. Leftworth got a hand on it and deflected it out of bounds. Italy keep possession. And Pieri checks back in the lineup. So we've seen everybody except Alessandro Abbio so far in this game. And Sweden having all kinds of trouble with the rebound. It was theirs all the way. Gerke couldn't get the shot to drop. Fuka with the left hand. He thought about going off the glass, saw Gerke coming and went for the hoop and missed it. And Gregor Fuka should not be thinking about how I'm going to change my shot against Sweden or Gerke.
That's pretty good skills though for Fuka. Had to make a last-minute decision and confident enough to put it on his left hand. And for a big lad, that's
good that he can do it. The question is, should he have bothered to do it? Bad decision making, good skills from Gregor Fuka.
Fuka, of course, could have played for the Slovenian national side, but chose Italian naturalization instead.
Gerke thought about the shot outside, called for traveling as he got tied up. And we've got another timeout on the court. Italy leads Sweden by a score of 67-36. And at this point for Italy, all you really want to do is keep the team playing hard, not get anybody injured by relaxing, and make sure they don't develop bad habits in the next 12 minutes or so.
That's exactly the situation that Yugoslavia were in yesterday against Israel. The last thing that Coach Messina wants is one of his star players to go out there and jam a finger or twist an ankle in a game like this. That's easily or highly likely. There's another coach the Swedish cheerleaders, trying to whip the crowd up.
I'm not quite sure why. I'm getting everybody to sit down or to lower the decibel level. Playing to the cameras a little bit.
She's
and
enjoyed
Italy
herself.
have the ball in play. On the drive is Pieri, and Pieri's fouled as he goes to the hoop. The foul will be on number 13, Marcus. Or number 12, Gerke. We're told in Rolf Nilsson, not happy with what he's seen as Pieri goes to the foul line.
Well, we talked about the problems of Coach Messina of Italy, and Coach Nilsson has real problems because the Italians have their entire bench out there now. Smart decision by Ettore Messina, doesn't want any of his star players injured.
Pieri makes one of two. And on the drive, Larsson fouled before the shot. Sweden will put the ball back into play. They've had a lot of trouble getting the ball in from underneath the basket, but none this time, and Håkansson will shoot and hit a 2. 68-38, Italy over Sweden by 30 now.
Now, the defense from Italy has definitely eased off in the last minute or so, and that basically is because it's the Italian bench on court now.
Apart from Claudio Coldebella, number 4, who brought the ball up. And Pieri, a nice pass. Frosini tried to dunk it, and he was hit as he did. And the foul will be on Anders Marcus. Marcus, who plays for Norrköping in the Swedish league. There's the contact. Just couldn't get up as high as Frosini. Or Jan Andersson back in the game. And Frosini makes the first. So now the challenge for Sweden in the remainder of the game, about 11 minutes to play, is to get 11 points, or 12 points, and beat Israel's tournament low score of 49. 10 is Leftworth. Marcus. Larsson. Looks for room on the fadeaway. Larsson hits. 70-40. Sweden trail by 30. That's the cheerleader cam. Dedicated cameraman. Director tells him to look at the court. He says, "Oh, I'm busy, I'm busy."
Oh, with a quarter of the game to go, or just over, things have looked up slightly for Sweden in the last minute or so, because the Italian bench are on now. Now they're getting a couple of breaks, and the Italian defense just eased off slightly.
And Andersson missing the 3. Marcus missing the tip and the follow. Gerke gets the rebound and lays it in. And they're not fighting them under the boards the way they were a few minutes ago, the Italians. So Sweden get within 28. And the foul on the outside. Leftworth will get it.
Seems strange to talk about the Italian bench and include Gregor Fulker in that category, but he has started, but he didn't start in this game, and a very, very efficient first man off the bench for Italy.
It gives them a lot of flexibility when they bring him off the bench, because even though he's very thin, he can play underneath as a big man, but he can also go outside and play as a smaller man. And he puts the lead back up to 30.
With his first 2 points of the game, even.
Gerke missing the pass at the foul line, and Fuka coming down on the fast break, but we've got a foul behind the play.
And the Swedes are asking for an unsportsmanlike foul. There it is.
There it is. Running interference. Pieri escorting Fuka down the court. I don't think Fuka even needed the help.
No, Fuka's pretty quick.
He had a good head of steam built up and handles the ball very well for a 7-footer. Coldebella just reaching in on Andersson, and the foul.
Another illegal pick.
For an illegal pick on Leftworth.
I make that 3 this half.
I make that a commentator who's just quit because his microphone's up on top of his head. So either he's talking through his ears or he's decided to stop commentating on the match. It's all over but the shouting here anyway with 10 minutes to play. Sweden down by 30. And the Italians giving their bench some workout. Pieri just moving around Gerke. Nice little pass inside. Conti got hit the first time, but follows his own shot in, and it's 74-42.
And it's desperation stakes at the moment for Sweden, fighting for their lives on the board. I made that 5 rebounds then, and eventually they got the tap in.
Gerke missing 3 times, and Marcus finally taps the ball in for Sweden. And you could hear that one in English. I suspect it came from the Swedish. English is such an expressive language. Conti. High rebound taken by Frosini. He follows in, and Marcus clears the boards for Sweden. Leftworth missing on the drive.
And you get the impression the referees aren't that interested now either.
Because Leftworth took a pretty hard shot before he got the shot off. And Pieri puts in the hoop for Italy at the other end. I think the referees have a dinner booked at a restaurant in the Acropolis and want to make sure they get there in time. Tipped away by Coldebella. He stuffs it through, 78-48.
And the crowd have taken the underdogs, Sweden, to their hearts.
I think a little bit too late.
And booing everything the Italians do.
So Fuka commits the foul. And even the Swedish cheerleaders are starting to lose their enthusiasm. Sahlstrom and Gadafurs come back in the lineup. Marcus, who's worked very hard on the boards, comes out. And Torborn Gerke, who played at the University of North Carolina and plays for Plannja in the Swedish league, will go to the foul line to shoot two.
And Gerke's getting upset with the referees here. He said, "You'd already given me the ball." And then an Italian defender just stepped in and the referee asked him to stop. And I suppose theoretically he's right. He should have allowed him to take the shot and given him another one.
But the referees seeming to give the benefit of the doubt always to the better team. And the underdog Swedes having to work their way back from a large deficit at this point. It's 78-45, make it 80-45 as Fuka gets the basket. But when the game was close was when they needed the breaks, and also, in fairness, when they needed to figure out a way of coping with Italy's defense, which Sweden never really did.
And it was close at one time. It was 25-24, and then a disastrous 10 minutes for Sweden.
Gerke can't get the ball to drop on the drive. And the Italians knew the way to stop the Swedes was to stop Sahlstrom. And what really upset us in the first half was they stopped Sahlstrom basically by denying him the ball. And if they had to do that by holding him or shoving him or whatever they were, and the referees were warning them but not calling the foul.
Yeah, I think one warning is enough, but we recorded about 5 from the whichever official was on the baseline.
And Gerke having trouble at the foul line, regardless of whether the Italians are in it or not. Missing 3 of the last 4. So Sweden still in that chase to beat Israel's low score of 49. It's 80-45. Fuka with the left hand. Nice move by Gregor Fuka.
Well, he tried with his left hand a few moments ago and was relatively unsuccessful, but good skills there from the 7-footer.
Coldebella nearly stole it. Gerke goes to the hoop. And Leftworth gets his first basket. And so Sweden inch within 2 of Israel's low score. Inch being the operative word.
Another target for Sweden is to make sure they don't lose by 52 points, which so far is the biggest margin of defeat. That was Russia against Finland. So the Scandinavian neighbors have given Sweden something of a target here.
And we've had 3 Scandinavian countries in this tournament, according to Roy. We had Finland, Sweden, and Swindon.
What's the capital of Swindon?
I don't know. You tell me what that one was, Roy. Not the capital of Sweden, but what that call was. Coldebella on the drive and makes the basket. Still trying to figure out why Sweden lost the ball on that last possession. Gerke in and out on the 3-pointer. Fuka with the rebound for Italy. Goes between the legs. Just loosening up. Comes down. Steps his way through the Swedish defense on the fast break. Says, I think he just wanted one at that point. And Gadafors gives Sweden the magic 49. So with their next points, They will ensure they are not the lowest scoring team of the tournament.
Mind you, Sweden have gone for many minutes in this game without scoring a point, so who's to say they're going to score in these last 5.5?
They had a terrible run at the start of the second half, outscored 21-3 at the start of the second half, having given up successive runs of 14-0 and 7-0 to the Italians in the last minutes of the first half, outscored 21-4 at the end of the first half. So between the end of the first half, at the point it was 25-24, Sweden were then outscored 42-7 by Italy. And that's awesome.
A 35-point margin there. Now, Sweden at last getting a couple of breaks, but a little late in the day. Pushing foul there sends Sweden back down the other end of the court for 2 shots.
And Joachim Blum. Israel remains the lowest scoring team in the tournament with 49 points as Sweden hit the magic 50. Half a century up for Sweden and no more. 84-50, Italy in the lead. Don't go away because we'll have highlights of yesterday's match between Greece and Germany. Last night's spotlight game, the home team Greece against Germany, both Greece needing to sew up a qualifying spot and Germany needing to stay alive in a qualifying spot for the quarterfinals.
And that was one of the most interesting games of the tournament so far.
And following that, we'll have live Yugoslavia against Germany. Yugoslavia still leading Group A and still unbeaten in Group A after 6 days of competition. This is the final day of the round robin here in Athens. And with this win over Sweden, Italy have answered the final qualifying question as to which teams go through. To the quarterfinals, and as Roy pointed out earlier, the 4 teams that win their quarterfinal matches will automatically gain berths to the Olympic basketball tournament in Atlanta next summer. And things starting to get a little sloppy out there now. The game all but over. As Håkansson comes in for Sweden. See the Swedes, 23 turnovers. In Italy, 15, and I would venture that 6 or 7 of those 10 were in the first 5 or 6 minutes of the game for Italy in the first half.
And that's created by super denial defense from the Italians.
Coldemella goes behind the back. Fuka misses the shot. And a late whistle from the trailing referee for 3 seconds on Italy.
And Fuka does like to use his left hand, doesn't he? Probably, or possibly, giving himself a similar kind of target like Tony Kukoc, who gave himself an assist target. And Fuka definitely using his left hand for practice in this game. So not a bad thing to do in a game that you're going to win by 30 or 40 points.
Tony Kukoc registering the first triple-double of the tournament yesterday for Croatia against Finland. 15 points, 12 rebounds, and 11 assists. And Dino Radja gratefully accepting many of those assists on his way to 27 points in that match. And Sweden keep the offense working. 86-52, they trail. 3 minutes to go. No real hurry. Fuka traveling in the middle. Nope,
and,
a foul
and being
call.
fouled in.
And being fouled. Thought they had him for the travel first. And Marcus is going to check back in.
Let's watch Fuka's footwork here. 1, 2.
He shifted his pivot feet at the start.
4.
I'm getting very cynical as this tournament goes on. I started out actually praising the referees, something I don't do all that often. But in the last couple of days, I've seen a lot of things I don't like. So Fuka makes the second foul shot.
Well, the traveling rule is very simple. You're allowed a 2 count if you take the ball on the move. Otherwise, you're only allowed to take 1 step. And Fuka received the ball standing still there, took 2 steps, and was deemed to have been fouled.
And Fuka on the rebound and running well. Conti was looking for the second pass to Fuka, and he's called for the offensive. Ooh. I think the referees do just want to get home at this point.
I think that may have been a make-up call on Fuka's missed travelling, because the official who called the travelling was previously the trailing official and not the official who called the foul.
Håkansson with the basket, 88-54. Fuka from the outside, a 90-54.
And I'm not exactly certain, but I think that's the first time Fuka shot in this half with his right hand, his dominant hand. And again, it was quite away from the basket.
Speaking of dominant, Italy 90, Sweden 54. Sahlström fouled on the drive by Frosini.
I think it's gone against Fuka, who was helping out and couldn't get his body out the way. Here comes Fuka, steps across.
Yeah, and Fuka picked up the foul. And Sahlström can't hit the foul shot. It looked like he was throwing that one up as a prayer. Misses them both, but the tap in by Marcus. 90-56, 2 minutes to play. See Marcus just getting up under the ball. Conti has it stripped away from him, but the ball's still loose. And this time it'll be Frosini picking up the foul, as Sahlström was down, picking up the loose ball.
Difficult to work out what Coach Nilsson's instructions to Sahlström were there.
Don't get hurt.
I suppose he could have said, well, let's deny Italy 100 points.
My sentiments exactly as the Swedes complaining underneath in the language referees may or may not understand. Håkansson on the drive for Sweden.
Well, I think just about every referee in the world will have understood that monosyllabic outburst from Sahlström.
And you could hear the, I think he was more concerned with himself for missing the foul shots. It wasn't actually about the referees, but I wonder if you can be called for unsportsmanlike conduct for swearing in a language that is neither yours nor the referees.
Perhaps only if it's on live television.
So Sahlström speaking his English with a decidedly Swedish accent, but you might expect that from a guy who played college basketball at Oklahoma State. No twinge of an Oklahoma accent in that voice. And we're in the last minute of the game. Fuka, quick hands, taps that one away. Coldebella. Fuka. Frosini, sorry, Frosini on the turnaround. And there'll be a foul underneath, the foul on Sahlström.
Watch the foul here, Sahlström just holding his man, stopping him jumping with a hand on that right shoulder.
And Paolo Conti will go to the line. Now, as soon as this game finishes, we'll go and take a break. And after the break, we'll be back with highlights of last night's match between Greece and Germany. As we said, the Greeks needing to win to assure themselves of a qualifying place in the quarterfinals, and the Germans needing to win to keep their hopes of a place alive. Spotlight match from last night's play in Greece at the European Basketball Championships. So Sweden keep possession. .19 seconds to play. Coldebella goes for the steal. The Italians pressuring Håkansson. Sahlstrom hangs on to the ball, loses it as he goes up. We've got 10 seconds to play. Fuka with the ball. Pieri, and he's fouled. One last foul before we leave, and Pieri will go to the line.
Well, we said the Italian defense had slackened off a bit, but not in the last 45 seconds of this game. That was relentless Italian defense then. Every time a Swedish player had the ball, he was double teamed, and Italy eventually got what they deserved, and they were fouled at the other end.
So Pieri misses the first shot. There's 5 seconds to play. Don't go away, because we'll take a break at the end of the game and then come back with those highlights of Greece against Germany. 5 seconds to go. Sweden need to inbound the ball. It'll be the last shot of the game, a 3, and it goes. That should count. And if it does, it does. It's Italy 93, Sweden 61. Italy sew up the final open qualifying place of this game with a pretty good performance overall, and that may send a message to the other teams.
I definitely think it will. We had 4 outright favorites, and we can now add France, Greece and Italy to that list as well, and Spain. They come up with the big shock of the tournament so far. So this tournament by no means guaranteed to go one particular spot.
Join us after the break for highlights in a second live game.